Today I'm gonna have some fun and make something that I might be able to use later for, like, you know, interactive stuff. I'm gonna show the process of rewriting a song. Rewriting a song is really handy when, say, you write a love song for someone who throws you in jail, for example. That's a good reason to rewrite a song. Or say you get like stabbed in the back and left out on the street in the snow to die, and you lose all your files and you forget how to play the original song. That's a good reason to rewrite a song. There's lots of good reasons to rewrite songs, but when you rewrite a song, you want it to be better than it was the first time, because duh. So today, this is not my ideal workspace. It is simply what is available. And I don't have the equipment that I would like to have. A nice Paul Reed Smith, Mark Holcomb or Mark Tremonti styles, man, either one of those would be great. And my own, just a clean PA speaker with all the pedals that I like, so I could make my sound. That would be ideal. That is not the case. So we work with what we got, If you only have an 8-color Crayola set, but you really need a 64-color Crayola set, you just got to work with what you got. That's what it is, That's life. So I am going to rewrite the song Sweaty Grip. And this is a song that I had on my first album. And it was probably the best rock song on there, but I don't remember how it goes except for a couple of parts. So the last 2 days I have been rewriting said parts, and so I am going to keep a little video of that process before I get it all finished. It took so long because I didn't want to play the parts super badly. But in doing so, I missed a whole bunch of the actual process of recreating it. So I better just do this now, even though I still play it badly, because otherwise I will completely miss the recreative process. So here we are in the tomb where I dwell. I reside in this tomb. You don't need to see the storage facility. That's not necessary for this. And yeah. This is a not subtle at all note to President Trump. Just saying. See that, Donald? Yeah, let's do that. All right. Anyway, not that there isn't good music coming out. There is, but blacklisting people is for losers. I'm just saying. All right, here we go. So we have a couple of different sound effects. I don't have pedals, so I got to use pre-made effects. And, well, first of all, let's talk about the fact that I don't remember the parts. We can keep that simple. So I remembered, there was some sort of thing in the beginning, like something like that. And I remember it had, those things in it. This is my attempt to recreate that. I'm pretty sure there was flange, so we're going to put some flange on there. I don't actually even have the old recording. So here we go. It's something as follows. The next part I don't remember at all, so I've maybe made that different. And then this is where we would do like a pedal, so I wouldn't have to pause. But so I use these because I like the high notes in the middle of the bump thingies, and because this is a very smooth like riff, it allows the flange effect to do the whole, to go through the entire phase like that, and it's really fun for the drummer, can just do whatever he wants in here and just go crazy with double kick drum and all that. So now we are going to, you know, right, transition to turning off the flange. I messed that up. So there needs to be some beef in here. I noticed that the song didn't have enough like actual, you know, parts that do that. So we're gonna throw one of those in there because I don't want to go back to the intro, which I did in the original song, and I don't like it. So I want to have like a beefy part in between the two verses that doesn't take me back to the intro. So that is what we will do. We will go from sound effect here. So we're going to go, now actually double guitars is the way to do this part, but I don't have two guitars at the same time. I don't even have a second guitarist. So I'm just going to switch the effects, but just so you know what it sounds like. So originally the song, I know that it had this chord, and then it had this where I opened the string in between the two. I remember that. And so I just had to rebuild it from there. And I think originally it had like fast little sweep picks, but I can't do them anymore. I haven't played guitar in 7 years. So I'm gonna do all downstrokes, and I like it better with harmonics. Like that. So that is how we're gonna do it. It's gonna be like this. This is, I'm gonna do slow what the pattern is. Sorry. The pattern, and really it should have two guitars with a totally different tone, and like they're panned different, you know, on the recording, and they're kind of, you know, well, if you've been in the sound studio, you know all the fun tricks. So this is what we got though. So it's gonna, in the melody, I only remember 2 of the lines, so I'll have to rewrite the lyrics, but I kind of remember the melody. It's sort of in my head. So I'm going to hum that. Well, I'm going to da-da, that's not humming, but now, I remember in the original one, it's something like but I actually want to hit the vibrato really hard. I want to do wide, and so I'm actually just gonna go like that. So, but I'm gonna switch off the sound effects. We're gonna go back to here. So. And I'm also going to hold it out longer so that the drummer can do like a badass fill, you know, because you got to remember the performance. And it's not always just about the guitarist, you know. So I'm going to hold out this. So plus it'll allow the vocals to do like a dive, you know, like push your lungs as hard as you can, and then I don't know how to say it, so never mind. But I'm gonna hold it out. So this part I do remember exactly. So that's how the original one goes. But I have decided, since I need to go back to the verse, I need like a thing. So I'm going to do it as follows, and hopefully I won't screw it up. But like that. All right, except I need to mute that better. So the idea is, like, I want to do the, because it makes, if you hit it just right, it gets like a vump. Especially if you have big fat speakers with a lot of bass and you do that, it makes a whump. I mean, it like punches your body. Feels amazing. So I am going to do that and get better at it, because I know what it does. Like I've done that where you just like, and it just makes everyone like, boom. It hits them with a vibration. It's fantastic. So that is how that will go. It'll be a, I'm doing the timing wrong, you can tell. So it should be like, that. Dang it. Like, okay, I'm gonna get it. Anyway. So anyway, this will be, we'll hold out just like that one did. And then I'll go back into this. No, back into the chug. Back into the verse. Damn. Dang it. So there, I need another transition because I suck, honestly. That if I'm just being totally honest, here's what happens when I try to switch. Because I remember I didn't have a guitar solo on this song. I had an interlude, an instrumental interlude, which was really more about creating a rhythmic section so the drummer could have fun. And so here's the thing though, the rhythm section is going to be a lot of chugs. I originally had some triplets in there, but I don't want to do them because I haven't played for 7 years and I suck and I can't do it. So I'm going to do, here's the thing, since I'm doing this, I can't get there from here. A good guitarist would have no problem doing that. I am not. I'm an intermediate guitarist, and so I'm going to have to give myself a little minute to transition between the two types of picking. And so I decided to have a little bit of fun with microtones because I love microtones. So I'm going to do a big fat bend, and while vibratoing, I'm going to slowly bring it back through a quarter bend into the main note. And just for fun, because I can. So oh, we do want a sound effect here. We want to go back to that thingy. So here we go. Actually, okay, on the original recording I had a wah pedal, which is bomb diggity, because you were like, you know, and I don't have that right now. So we'll go back to the flange. But I definitely would prefer the wah pedal. Anyway, so. See, I couldn't even get that one. you will observe, if you know the original song, which nobody does, yeah they do, the bootleggers do. Anyway, I don't remember the interlude. So I just remember it started with like some kind of chuggy thing there. That's all I remember. So I had to rewrite it, obviously. But, so what we got going here is... See, I'm trying to do a wide double vibrato. Sometimes I nail it, sometimes I don't. It is what it is. And that is supposed to be a micro pre-bend. A micro double pre-bend, because it just feels like raunchy. I love it. Ah, see? And this part I do remember, actually, when it goes down. But I threw that in. And now on this, so I try to do like a little, when you go up, the idea is to create just a little drag, which is, you know, if you're using a click track, it gets tricky because, well, for obvious reasons, but so you have to slow it down and drag it real quick and then speed back up so you don't miss the click. You need a good drummer for that. A good drummer will keep you going, but the idea is to just have like a little and then go back into the tempo without missing a beat. Easier said than done, but it'll be fun when I nail it. And then okay, so I remember the outro or whatever, the final verse in the song had like a sad feely thingy, something like this. I remember doing this with my fingers somewhere. I don't remember where, so I'm just gonna do them here. So. Oops. I'm trying to get that in between each one. As you can see, I don't remember the words either again, but it's something like da 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 da, something like that. There's a stink bug flying around. I much prefer bees to stink bugs, because nothing likes stink bugs. I mean, not even birds eat stink bugs. They're horrid, you know. And so I'm going to let it desiccate. That's what I'm going to do with the stink bug. I'm just going to ignore it. If it were a bee, I would rescue it and put it outside without injury. If it were a spider, it would depend on my mood. And yes, so the spiders are subject to my fickle nature, unfortunately. Some of them receive mercy and some get a free ticket out of this world. It just is what it is. But the stink bug will just be ignored until it desiccates in the oppressive heat. We got some fire going on out. It's hot. Anyway, and fire. It's just starting. So, where was I? Ah, yes. So there's some kind of sad verse there, you know, about wrestling with, you know, internal pressures. That's what I recall. I'll have to rewrite it. But then it goes to like a thingy up here, and the thingy up here had two guitars again. I do not have two guitars, as you can see. So, but I remember the lyrics was very simple. Don't let go. It's a long way down. And it just kept repeating that over and over and over. Words to live by if you're ever mountain climbing, let me tell you. Yeah. So, here we go. So what we're going to do is go to, we're going to want a whole bunch of delay on this, because I remember that the second guitar is just a very simple melody, similar to the first verse vocals, but it's like echoey, you know? So here's what the first guitar does. Don't let go, it's a long way down. Don't let go, it's a long way down. So it's just very simple pattern, which for some reason took me forever to get down. But so while the first guitar is doing that, and the vocalists are actually doing a weaving harmony melody, don't let go, it's a long way down, over and over and over. This is what the second guitar was. Oh yeah, and it does slow down. So this song does have a decelerando, decrescendo ending to it, and that was done deliberately. And it'll be like so you'll notice, like, basically what it does is it has a nice clean chord, and then it creates some raunchiness as it starts slowing down, and then it throws in a high note just before it really slows down, and then it goes back into a pretty minor chord. Okay. I think it might have actually gone to here originally, but I'm gonna do that with the other guitar, so I don't need to do it here. So yeah, so it'll be like, oops, sorry. So that's how the first guitar would end it. And the second guitar would go as follows. Very, very saturated delay on this. So it'll be like, and I don't remember what the original one did, so it is what it is. But, okay, so. So getting palm mute on high notes is not something I normally do, so I'll get there though. But anyway, so as you can see, it'll start with a nice warbly vibrato. And then I'll do that to create a little bit of, just a little tension, but still keep it pretty. I don't want to go to raunchy tension, I just want a little. And then, yeah, oh yeah, so I'm going to do them fast because I want the echo. I want it to be a, so it'll be like, yeah, so like that. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's why we practice. Anyway. And then so since the other guitar is going to slow down, this one obviously must also do so. So it'll be like so remember I said I would land on that note, on the A note? Well, I'm actually in drop C, so it's not an A, it's a G, but whatever. So that was bad. I'm going to do that over. So basically it'll start the same. Oh gosh. So since I have the echo and I don't want my mistakes to echo, I'll have to do this. I'll have to hit it and then mute the other string so I can vibrato without, echoing that sound. So obviously some practice is needed, but that is the idea. So we'll have, you know, a nice. Helps her if you remember the notes. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Okay, so it needs to be like. Well, it doesn't look hard, but obviously it is for me. So I will continue practicing it. But anyway, that from your buddy Marcus here, because I have changed my name for numerous reasons, and I find them all to be reasonable reasons. So that is the process of rewriting a song. I hope you enjoyed it, and when I have the new recording, I hope it blows your mind, and I hope you show up to the concert so you can. Rock out with me. Have fun.